Hello everyone, my name is Sethaerion. Today we're gonna play the second and the last part of the beginner's guide. This exploration adventure game is amazing so far. I can't wait to see what happens next in this incredible story. So let me be quick to thank you for your patience. For those who didn't see the first part of this game, check my previous video first, so you can understand what is going on. Alright, let us continue.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No, you came here to become perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, whoa, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless? Selfish, ungrateful. I tend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
This is easy. It is so easy. Being perfect is... Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh god, I can't move. Why I can't move?
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Okay, so this is the key. How do I achieve it with no effort? Well, let me tell you right now, if it isn't effortless, then it's not the right answer. If you are torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? There is no truth, there is no path. Oh man, this is chaotic. Do what is easiest, do what is simplest, feel what is true. Nothing, no one. Why I can't go up? By the way, this game is awesome.
I fell pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
That's true.
I think about this game a lot these days.
Okay, let me pause the game here. I would like to say that we can't be perfect and we shall not pretend to be. Don't forget that we are human beings, so it's natural to have bad experiences and problems. I think that perfection is just a word that we use in order to put aside all our problems and bad situations. We follow those steps as a rescue for our souls, even if it's not the best way to do it. You can't forget all those things forever, and you know that deep inside. In my opinion, we have to face our problems and try to solve them, even if we don't find a solution to some of them. We still need to go on and learn to live with them. Okay, some problems are painful or difficult to solve, but we can do other things that make us happy and help us keep going. We can go see a movie or listen to music, read a book, play lots of games, socialize, and a lot more. That doesn't mean that we are perfect. It means that we are trying to survive in this world and we do what we think it is right. So live your life to the maximum and take the opportunities that you may have, and even if you miss some of them, don't worry. You're gonna have a lot more if you keep trying. Just never give up.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Okay, so where are we? What is this place exactly? Oh, are we going to a concert or something? Let's see. Maybe it's a music concert. I wanna rock! I really need to hear something right now. And here we are. Oh, wait, why am backstage? Hello? Anybody here? Shit, that scares me. Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene you will be playing as me. Okay. We are at the gathering of professionals. First you will start out leaning against this wall. Wait, what? Okay, let's do this. Good, stay right there. Alright. Whoa, that was creepy. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her to gain something to succeed. Go on, say something to her, okay? Hello? Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her, be a human being. Do it again. I think hello is a very friendly word to say before you start talking. Anyway, here are all my hopes and dreams. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I will give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Okay, now talk to her again. Okay, before we talk to her again, I really need to try these bouncing cones. Alright, back to our game. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You are messing it all up again. You will freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I will never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Okay. By the way, these bouncing cones was really fun. You should try it. I didn't want to waste your time, so I cut all these funny moments. Hello, lamppost. I guess we'll have to go. Oh, okay. There's no back now. Well, I guess the prison props are back. Yep.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Now the next game, called Mobius Strip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Yeah, right. Oh, well, I tried to have my eyes closed for 2 seconds, but this music don't help me too much, so let's see what we got. I can't see anything. As I see here, we're on a spaceship and we've been attacked or something. Also, the people here are blind. Well, that explains a lot. Please, someone talk to me. Oh my god, we're gonna cross. Okay, now let me figure out what we need to do.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Okay, apparently talking to these guys doesn't help us at all. By the way, I tried sometimes till I figured it out. So up here we can find the only person which is not blind, and he knows the truth. Don't forget that we have a limited time till we crash again. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I am bursting with creative energy. No, that isn't truthful. So we made a mistake, so we crossed again. Well, this time we're gonna make it.
Alright, let me explain how you're supposed to do this. On either side of the room are elevators, which go up to an upper level. You have to go up, walk over to the person who's standing there, and then select dialogue option number 2. Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
Okay, so I chose number 2 before David told me, so thank you, Dave, anyway. And it says, I can't keep making this. Yes, that's it, that's the truth. I'm out of ideas. Keep going, keep talking. So I think that those messages are from Codas, and that makes me so sad right now. I thought it was going to be easy. You're doing it. It's working. I'm alone. We're going to be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Where am I? Hello? Is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. Oh no. What's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going, and it stopped. Wait, you're kicking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it, to know why it stopped. I can take you to it, but there's a problem.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
If you can help me solve the puzzle, we'll find the machine. Deal? Deal. Perfect. Come along, I will show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Here's the puzzle. What do you think? Hey, I recognize this. Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me how to do it? First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here. Ha! That was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Okay, well, I can't believe I never solved it before this. Oh my god, that's all our answers. Okay, here we are. No cries, please, no. Guys, I don't know if I can keep doing this. I'm here in a commentary. Please excuse me and read the choices that I made, 'cause it's too painful to me.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me. I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Hello guys, I'm back after a short break that I had. Now I'm ready to play the next game. Ma'am, glad to see you arrived safely. We have captured the machine, it's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. I tend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this time. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Oh, look at them. Let me strike a pose. Nah, actually, let's get out of here. Finally, Coda. We meet at last.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive. It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. I have been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. My friends, it falls on me to deliver bad news. The machine refused to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We're stronger than it thinks we are. Let us show it that we're not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. By the way, all the options we have to say, they are bad. So I think it doesn't matter what we choose. Oh, is this the theater? Please don't open the lights and scare me again. Whoa, why I have a gun? Oh my god, did I destroy the place? Or maybe I redecorated it. Who knows? Hey, I only do what I'm paid for. Now seriously, why Coda thinks that the best way to end his gaming at works projects is to destroy it by the user.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Alright. Oh my god, we're falling.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon. I'm not even throw my weapon. Oh, okay. Now what? Sorry, Coda, I can't control myself.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011. And I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look. And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
The freezing tower of darkness.
This room actually has a maze in it.
What the?
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible, And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay. Oh, it wasn't so hard after all. Thank you, Dave.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Well, I hope it's not a bomb over there.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Oh, nice. A new path. Okay, here I think it's a trap, because why were you going up if we have to go down, right?
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean.
Same here.
And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Oh, I think that's the moment of truth.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore. What the fuck?
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you.
And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You have so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, will it make you any happier? Will you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Dave, what's wrong with you, man? Will you stop taking my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Oh, so the lamppost is not from Coda, huh?
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Would you simply let them be what they are? When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something, and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this does not make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling. What the fuck, Dave?
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay. More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you. If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Well, that looks familiar. The machine that we sacrifice ourselves on the first game of Coda.
Turn back from this cave.
Okay, I think that was it, so let me tell you what I believe. This game refers to a lot of sensitive subjects about psychological states, depression, loneliness, low self-esteem, and doubt of oneself. Deep inside I feel that Davy really wanted to help Coda, but he also wanted to help himself. I guess he didn't feel he was special or unique enough to prove to the world his own worth, so he tried to get approval through Coda's work. On the other hand, I guess that he was using the wrong methods when trying to help Coda. Maybe his methods were what would help Davy, but it seems he forgot to take into account that Coda was very different and he was more harmed than helped in the process. Now, for apparent reasons, Davy and Coda's story must be fictional. However, I can't help but feel that the narrator is not 100% faking his emotions. It seems like he is actually talking to himself, trying to force his inner creative self to appear again. Well, as I said when I started playing this game, Davy, the creator of this game, is also the creator of the Stanley Parable. Maybe after that massive success he could not connect with that inner creative part of himself anymore. Hence why the emotions in this game seem so real. It might be his way to try to figure out himself and his work and try to move on. It's like a dialogue with himself while his audience, his fans, watch as he explains how it feels to be stuck. Maybe he pushed himself too much and video gaming creation from a form of self-expression became a forced thing, something he had to do in order to make others happy. When in reality, in the past, video game creation is what he did in order to make himself feel happy and complete as a person. To be honest, I related a lot to all these emotions David showed. YouTube started for me as something like a hobby, a pastime. With every video I can feel the pressure to improve myself more and it makes me sad. I just want to be able to funnel my creativity in my work, much like Davey wants to funnel his in his projects. This is why I felt this sentimental after a certain part of the game. I started to understand Davey and his struggles because they are a bit like mine. The good news are that if Davey can find the strength to keep on going, apart from all the problems and obstacles he found in his way, I feel like I can keep going too. I can try to create and not to be absorbed by my expectations or the expectations that others have for me. Much like how he managed to create such a unique, fresh experience by simply expressing himself. Everything that I have said so far are my own thoughts of this game. They may not be anywhere near the truth, but this is my short interpretation of the story. It's and every one of you might think of different things while playing this game or while watching this video, and all these explanations are merely correct. This is what art is for, so that every person can see a very different perspective of the very same thing. If you would like, leave a comment with your own thoughts about this game. I would be more than glad to read what you guys have to say. So, if you like this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe. Until next time, take care, bye bye.